So good evening, you wonderful people. If you are here live, it's good evening. It could be good morning or good afternoon if you watch on the replay or you're listening on the replay. So thank you so much for joining us. It's just gone 9 o'clock as I am live now on the 9th of October. 2023 is just like flying by, isn't it? It's nearly done. It's going to be done before you know it. I was looking at the actsonthis.tv like member-only Zoom call calendar for all the guests that are coming up between now and Christmas, and I've only got 4 people sort of left to confirm. And the whole calendar is blocked out. I don't have any other guests, to sort of book for this year, which is crazy. So I'm already starting to look at the first couple of months of 2024 and the guests that we want to get back on who have been on before on actsonthis.tv, guests who have never been on before. So it's crazy how quickly it's all going. But thank you so much for being here, everybody. I can see loads of people who are here live. I met a lot of you guys who were here live yesterday in person at an event that I was speaking at. Good friend of mine, Matt Hall. Acts on This members, you'll know Matt anyway if you weren't at that event yesterday. I always bring Matt on to talk about mindset. We created a program together last year called Bulletproof Actor, Unstoppable Confidence, Infinite Success for actors that really want to work on their mental game, on their mental toughness, their resilience. I'm going to be launching that again. I can't believe that's come around so quickly as well. I'm going to be launching that again probably at the end of this year. January next year. So that's something you can give me some feedback on, actually. Those people who haven't done it, when you think would be a good time to do it, but we can talk about that in a bit. But it was amazing to see everybody. It was like an unofficial little Acts on This meetup, and we even got to go to Nando's afterwards yesterday. So it was amazing to see everybody. And Matt's doing another event in January next year, so I'll keep all the Acts on This crew up to date on that, because I'm probably going to be there again. I don't know if I'm going to be speaking, but I might just be there as an audience member to actually taking part in it. I think the next event Matt's doing is all about sort of health, fitness, nutrition, sorting all that side of your life out. So it's really applicable to actors. You only feel as good as what you're doing with your body effectively. You kind of get out of your body what you're putting into it. If you want to feel good, you want to sort of be on top form. When it comes to auditioning, when it comes to even just memory, so much sort of like health around sort of brain health and memory, is involved in food and what you're effectively fueling your body with. And those people who are like, I can't remember my lines. I'm like, are you fueling your body with the right stuff? Are you getting enough sleep? Lots of things like that can really feed into those areas of your life. So that'll be a good one. But it was amazing to see everybody yesterday. I think I left you guys about 10 o'clock and a few of you went on to party into the night on a Sunday night. It's too rock and roll for me. But I hope you had a good time. Loads to discuss tonight. For those people who are like, what the hell's Acts on This and what you're talking about? What is this community? This is the website, actsonthis.tv. I set this website up 13 years ago. Basically, every single week nowadays, we sit down with the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, directors, producers, the best people in TV. And we're talking the biggest names, like, not small time, we're talking big time. And we host private Zoom calls every single week with these people. Act on This members can jump on these Zoom calls, can ultimately get all the behind the scenes sort of secrets, knowledge, wisdom from these guests on how you can move your acting career forward much, much faster. And you can jump on camera, ask questions. Ultimately, we've got the best community of actors in the world, full stop. So if you're not part of the community, come and get involved, actsonthis.tv. Last week, we had this guy on for an incredible Zoom call, Mr. Philip Barantini, co-creator and director of brand new BBC One drama, Boiling Point. You'll know Boiling Point. Well, you might know it, you might not know it, but you'll know Boiling Point from when it was a short film, potentially, with Stephen Graham. Then it was turned into a feature film with Stephen Graham. Now it's a BBC One drama with Stephen Graham, but loads of other actors, incredible actors in it as well. Phil co-created the whole thing, and he directed episodes 1 and 2 of the BBC One show. I think episode 2 played out last night on BBC One. You can binge the whole thing on BBC iPlayer right now. I think all 4 episodes are available on iPlayer. But that was a session last week. I thought it was wicked. Let me know if you were on that session, what you thought of it. We also had a little cameo appearance from another incredible director, Mr. Lewis Arnold, who popped up just at the end of that session to surprise Phil, to ask him a question. I said, Phil, I've got a really young upcoming director here who just wants to have a chat, and then brought Lewis Arnold on, one of the most established directors in the UK, well, in the world, really, when it comes to the world of television and drama. Lewis is going to be joining us for his session, actually, this Thursday night. I'm going to talk about that later. But again, if you're not a member, it's a reason to become a member of this community. So for those people who weren't there, I'm going to play a little trailer out for what, you know, the kind of things we discussed on that. Then I'm going to dive into the comments that are coming through on Facebook. We'll chew the fat about all things acting and any issues that you've got tonight. We'll do some Q&A. I've got loads more videos to play out, and we'll have a nice time between now and 10 p.m. So here's a little bit of what you missed if you weren't on the call with Phil. Co-creator, exec producer and director of brand new BBC One drama Boiling Point is Philip Barantini, back in the house. Phil, it's amazing to have you back on That's On This.tv, mate. How are you?
2018 is when it's all sort of kicked off for me. I made my first short film called Seconds Out, and then I got the bug for directing, and literally I was like, this is what I want to do now. You know, went from being an actor for 20 odd years.
Let's play out a little bit of Boiling Point on BBC One.
Smirking. I've been working on that venison for 24 hours. It's because some of us give a shit.
Is there any particular person here you want to talk about that might have had an interesting or a different kind of casting story?
Stephen Adebola, who's the top right there, I got him in like three times, and you know, he went through the mill. Really, he did go through the mill, and every time he was just so amazing. And so we ended up merging two characters to create this Johnny Bale character.
What would be a typical in-the-room audition with Philip Barantini?
I always bring another actor in, and I've used Robbie O'Neill, who's a fantastic mate of mine. And I always say to Robbie, or I say to whoever the actor is, when we bring this next person in, I want you to mix it up a bit at this point. So what you find then is like you'll realise which actors are in the moment and when they're truly listening.
How would you go rogue to get on Philip Barantini's casting radar if there's a season 2 of Boiling Point?
The BBC are like, no, we want someone who's a bit tried and tested, and she hasn't got much on her CV. And, you know, would the pushback come from the ITVs and the BBCs and stuff like that?
For me, it's about good actors. And that's what's important to me. And so I will always try and fight it.
And he's come in and he's took all of my jobs. No, he hasn't. I'm a big fan of Phil and what he's done and achieved, and absolutely in full admiration.
Completely believe in yourself. That's what I would say. Just focus on you and your trajectory and your path.
Boom! If you want to unlock the full 2-hour chat with Phil and Lewis there at the end, you saw Lewis come in at the end there to wind Phil up, then get yourself over at actonthis.tv right now. Get a bloody membership. Where have you been if you've not been part of this community? Your acting career has been suffering needlessly because you're not part of this gang, basically, and the gang that we went out with yesterday in person. It was really good, honestly, to meet everybody yesterday. I know it's wicked doing Zoom because people can sort of like communicate from anywhere in the country. There's no geographical boundaries. We can all jump online and, you know, sort of meet each other. But it is really nice when you get to meet people in real life again, you know, because I think we've all just got I've got so reliant on Zoom. I mean, my entire business is built on Zoom, basically. So I spend a lot of time on it. So yeah, I'll ask in a minute, actually. We'll get our heads together of how we can maybe do an Act on This live event. I would probably hold it at the same place Matt held his yesterday, the first one that I did at 53.2 in Manchester. It's a great small little theatre. I think it holds about 150 people. Do you reckon I could sell 150 tickets? I reckon I could. I mean, they wouldn't be like super expensive. I try and make it as affordable as possible. And maybe, yeah, we'd get some, you know, some casting notices down, some agents, some directors, you know, host some panel events, do some Q&A, all that sort of stuff. Let me dive into the comments on Facebook. Di, good evening, says she's just back from a lovely week abroad and raring to go. So all right for some, innit, Di? Where do you go? Let us know. Hope you had an amazing time. Caroline, was great to meet you yesterday too as well. You said it was an amazing event and your talk was super useful. Yeah, I did a talk. What did you think, Caroline? Genuinely, like, because I did a 45-minute talk effectively on creating a side hustle and how me creating side hustles in my own life has really genuinely changed my life forever in terms of the freedom that it's given me around time. Well, to a certain degree, time. Obviously, I spend a load of time running this community. This was once one of my side hustles. It's become very much a full-time thing. But I have other businesses as well that are more of side hustles that, you know, don't need as much attention as Acts on This. But it's really freed me up to sort of, you know, commit to my acting career. It freed me up in the early days to commit to voiceover, particularly, and then I was earning more money out of voiceover. That meant I could input, you know, sort of like invest that back into my acting career, into all the stuff you need as an actor, because it can be pretty expensive sometimes, getting new reels done and headshots and equity and spotlight and all those other things that we have to pay for as actors. But yeah, this like creating side hustles in the early days were really, really key to me getting out of a shit job that I hated in the Trafford Centre, where I worked for 11 years for minimum wage for £5.75 an hour. I was only earning five. That wasn't even that long ago. I mean, it was like, yeah, no, it probably was. Time goes by quite fast. I was 28 when I got out. And I'm 41 now. So, yeah, it was sort of like, 13 years ago. So, yeah, I suppose that was probably about right back then. Isn't it weird? I'm sort of like, you don't think, I don't know, sort of like time goes by so fast. Like, it's crazy to think in just a few years, the 80s will have been 50 years ago. That's bonkers. I was born in the 80s. And we met a guy yesterday, Lee Brennan. He was part of a boy band, 911, back in the day. He was speaking at this event yesterday as well. And I thought he was about my age. And he looks really great. He looks really, really good. Still looks like, in my head, about 30. And he was 50. He was like, yeah, I've just entered my new decade as like in my 50s. I'm like, oh my God. Like, people who I grew up with are now in their 50s. Like, it's like time just bloody flies by. But yeah, it was great to meet you, Caroline. You too, Sarah, Maya as well, Zoe, everybody. Grace, how you doing? Who's just said they've got COVID there, bless you. That's how it's happening again, isn't it? More and more. I'm seeing, a few people I work out with in the morning in the gym are off last week and this week because they've come down with COVID as well. You're Jackie, sorry to hear that. Hopefully you get over that quickly. That's bloody rubbish, isn't it? Caroline says side hustle info was great. Already taken action on one of the quick wins. Yes, Caroline. Yeah, because I gave people like real quick things they could do with side hustles, like no excuses, like literally earning money out of filling surveys online. Becoming a mystery shopper. Literally getting paid to go. I used to get paid to go and buy shirts from Top Man. I could either keep those shirts or I could sell them on eBay. Like, I was getting paid to go, and they would pay for an item of clothing for me as well. I'd have to then fill in a report about what the shop was like, and as a mystery shopper. But that was a great little side hustle of mine for a couple of years. I did that. Other little side hustles, just things like affiliate links. I run an affiliate program for Acts on This members. If you're not using your affiliate links, guys, I'll say it again. And you're a member of Acts on This, please, help me help you earn money. Okay, if you go into your members area here, for those on the audio experience, sorry you can't see this, I'm just showing them the members area on Acts on This, and there's a red product in there called the Acts on This Premium Affiliate Scheme, and you can go in here and you can basically set a little account up. It'll take you 5 minutes, link your PayPal account to it, and then you'll get a unique link. And if you give that to other actor friends of yours, or you tweet it, or you put it on Facebook, or in your actors WhatsApp group, or whatever you might run, if people click on that link, they're tracked on Act on This for 30 days. If they get a membership, you will get a 25% commission on that monthly membership they buy every month. You don't just get it once. If they're a member, if they're a member, do you remember Samantha Mumba? Don't know why that just came into my head. If you're a member, if you're a member, get your link, and then if they become a member within 30 days, they become a member, you'll get the 25% commission, but you'll get it every month. So if they're a member for 6 months, you'll get a commission for 6 months. If they're a member for 12 months, you'll get a commission for 12 months. If they buy a year up front, you get a 10% commission on that, so you'll get like 30 quid back practically for every member you bring in. So there's people earning a couple of £100 a month doing that as affiliates because they really put their time into it. It's worth doing. Honest to God, it's worth doing. And it's just so many people, when you come on one of the Zoom calls, you always put a nice tweet out anyway saying, hey, tonight was amazing. Had a really great chat with Philip Barantini, learned so much. Just add a line to it. Like, actors would highly recommend you get involved in the community, and then just drop your affiliate link into that tweet. You're not spamming anybody. You're not being a nuisance, because obviously I can't have that. You're just doing what you would normally do, but then, you're getting paid for it. Rather than, I love it. You can shout from the rooftops about Acts on This, and I love the fact that people do that for free. But I would like to pay you if that results in new members signing up. So get involved in that. But affiliate links is another big thing when it comes to side hustles. You can literally get a free affiliate account on Amazon. It doesn't take you 2 minutes to get one, and then you can get links on it for every single product on Amazon. And say you've genuinely bought something from Amazon that you love, you're getting loads of use out of, just create an Instagram reel or a TikTok reel going, guys, just bought this new Ninja air fryer. It's amazing. And then do something, entertaining on that reel, make a dish or whatever that looks nice, and people go, oh, that looks nice, I might check that out. Just leave on your TikTok reel or your Instagram reel, leave a link to that affiliate link on Amazon for that product. Even if they don't buy the Ninja air fryer, if they buy anything within 24 hours from Amazon, you'll get a commission on it, like anything at all. within a 24-hour period. So there's loads of ways to set up little side hustles to just earn extra money that might just help you take one day a week from your job that you hate. That was a big part of me getting out of game. So no, anybody who's got an Acts on this membership, it's not just for annual members. No, if you've got a premium membership, you will also have that product in your members area. So if I go over to the website once again, as long as you're an active member of the community, so as long as you have this purple product here that says premium membership, this is the standard membership that you get for Acts on this. You'll have the blue product there, which is the community, and then you won't have these products. This is other stuff that I have created over the years. I'm in an administration account here, so I have all products here. But you will have this red one. This premium affiliate account, and all you need to do is have an active membership. Your membership needs to stay active in order to get paid out. So if you bring somebody in on a monthly membership, you get paid out whilst you're a member, and you cancel your membership, you won't get paid out on that commission then. But as long as you stay a member, you'll get paid out on that commission as long as they're a member as well. But it's available for everybody. So get involved. Right, where was I at? I've played a little bit of Phil Barantini, haven't I? I've got 2 other clips that I want to play you from Phil's chat that I think just might help people if you've got an audition this week or if you've got a self-tape this week. I'm super happy to see actors in the community posting on social media today. They've got self-tapes already and it's Monday. A few people I saw get self-tapes for Hollyoaks today, which is great news. But yeah, there's just a couple of clips here. It's just Phil's outlook on self-tapes and in the room auditions as well. I'm going to play this one out on self-tapes first. It's a little bit rogue, but Phil is rogue. Phil's got to where he's got to by being a little bit rogue. He even hosts a podcast called The Going Rogue Club, where he interviews creatives who have gone a little bit rogue themselves in order to, create success, not necessarily, down the well-trodden path and following all protocol and the norm. Phil's gone really off-piste. He was an actor for many years. He struggled with a lot of stuff in his personal life around addiction and sort of burnout around the hospitality industry. He was a chef for a while and then decided, sack it, I'm going to become a director. No official training. Didn't go... It's not drama school, is it? What did you do? Didn't go to director school, whatever that is, or anything like that. He just went rogue. And now he's directing and co-creating some of the biggest dramas in UK TV. So this is just his little outlook on self-tapes, and I prescribe to this. I think sometimes having the guts to do something, even when it's not asked for, as long as you do it with the right intention, I think it can take you a long way. So here's just a little 2-minute clip of what you have to say on self-tapes. Any advice you would have for actors on self-tapes?
Let's say, for example, you have to they ask you to do an accent.
Yeah.
Right? I would do the accent, for one, and I would also do it in your own accent as well. Because unless you're playing a real person who is, from that region or from this US or whatever, then it shouldn't really matter about accents. Because obviously the UK is multicultural, everyone's, lives everywhere. So it's not important. But I think also, even if it's not an accent, I would do 2 different takes and send both takes in. And make sure you let them know that you send them 2, because some casting directors or agents will say they haven't asked for that. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm sending it anyway. You should always send 2. Because me as a director, I want to see what you're capable of. And the thing is, if I get you, don't over egg it and do more than 2. But if I see something and then I see another tape of you doing it a different way, I know that you've got a bit of range, and I know that you can take direction. And usually, it's always the first take, which is the one you should send, first or second. Don't do 20 takes. It's even the same for me when I'm directing. I try to do no more than 3 takes, because after that, you can see actors dialing it in. You can see actors thinking about what they're doing. And so usually it's the first one, know the lines, and try not to have the lines behind the camera so you're reading them, because you look like a news prompter sometimes. I've had actors come in, do self-tapes, and absolutely smash the self-tape. And I've gone like, oh my God, get them back in. And then they come into the room and they don't know the script, because they haven't learnt it.
Oh God, I think I'm back online. I think it might have gone off for you there, folks, a little bit. Literally every week, like clockwork, at like 25 past the hour, my internet seems to go off for 10 seconds. It happens every single week now, and I have no idea why. But hopefully we're back now. Let me know if you're back in the house. Hopefully that should all be good now. And hopefully you didn't miss too much of what Phil was saying there. But he was ultimately saying, listen, even if they ask for one take, give them two. Just because for a director, from his perspective, that's really useful to see in terms of your ability to take direction, to show range, to show a little bit of versatility. He says don't over-egg it, don't do 20 takes or whatever. And it's very often, I find this, he said it's very often the first take or two, which are the best takes anyway. I think I've done that. I've flogged a scene to death when I've been doing self-tapes. And I've ended up so confused with 25 takes, and I can't tell the difference between them all. And I'm like, oh my God, which one's the best one? Then you just get analysis paralysis. Very often, as long as you've done the prep work properly. And they're never super, super long scenes for self-tapes. Occasionally you might get a bit of a chunky bit of text, but, the majority of scenes are 90 seconds long, something like that in TV, 2 minutes max. So you shouldn't really sort of have to spend 10 hours on a tape. I think I've been so successful this year with tapes. Last year I wasn't actually. I think last year I cared too much, if I'm honest with you. Don't want that to sound bad. I just mean I put too much pressure on myself when I was doing self-tapes. This year, I've been very much like c'est la vie, what will be, will be. And I've booked way more jobs this year than I did. Well, I didn't book a single job last year. I had about 13 self-tapes of top stuff, and it was the only year in over 10 years where I haven't booked a job in vision on TV. I did loads of voiceover and ADR and stuff, but I just couldn't get arrested. Couldn't book a job to save my life. Whereas this year, I've been like, right, sod it. Let's just see what happens. And I've been way more successful. So I think sometimes, not just flogging a dead horse and just continuing to go, one more take. I think sometimes just, making sure you've done the work, you've done the prep, the lines, and then you just give it, 2-3 goes. You'll find that take that you need to send off will be in those first couple of takes generally. And so that's just a little bit of insight on self-tapes from Mr. Barantini. I've got another clip now to play out on In the Room auditions. Caroline, I've just seen your comment there, going shopping at the weekend. Nice, that's mystery shopping. Caroline signed up to be a mystery shopper. Folks, honest to God. Sam, you said you're looking for websites for surveys. One that I used to use, I talked about yesterday. It's called Prime. I think it's primeopinion.com. You get paid £4 a survey, and when I looked a couple of days ago, there was 774 surveys available. That's £3,000 in surveys. Some of the surveys are pretty long. They might take you 20 minutes to fill out or something. But you know what? If you do 3 surveys in an hour, it's £12 an hour. That's all right, isn't it? It's like you can literally, do a survey while you're on the loo in the morning and you sell some money, one of them every morning across 5 days of the week, it's extra £80 a month just from filling out a few surveys online. So yeah, honestly, there's so many ways to earn little bits of extra money. And Di, good to see that you've earned you've used your affiliate link there as well. Sally Ann says, at the end, can we please hear that clip again as it cut out in the latter half? Oh, Sally Ann, that was, I'll try and play it out at the end. I've got other ones. I mean, you can, if you're, Sally Ann, you're a member of the website. If you're a member of That's on This, you can get access to the full 2-hour chat with Phil in the members area. You just literally get yourself over in the members area here. There's so much more. Obviously, that's a 2-minute clip of a 2-hour chat, but it's the full 2-hour replays in the members area now, in video form if you want to watch the full video. It's also in audio form as well if you just want to listen to it as a podcast while you're out and about, walking the dog, or you're in the gym or whatever. It makes it very, very easy for you to catch up on everything that you've missed. But the full chat is in there. But I've got more clips to play out anyway. I will play another one now. This next one, is just specifically for Phil. So this is if anybody gets an audition with Phil, because it's different. Every director likes different things. Every casting director likes different things. The way they run their auditions are ever slightly different from time to time. But this is basically how Phil runs his auditions. So if you ever get a casting and you know it's a project that Philip Barantini is directing, he's working on, he's going to be in the room, this will really help you, because otherwise you might have been thrown, because Phil likes to surprise actors in the real, in real life, like in the room auditions, not on self-tapes, obviously, because he's not there, but when he's directing you in the room, he likes to sort of throw actors off guard a little bit and just see, see some of the magic happen when when people react like almost like in real life in the audition. You know what I mean? When something sort of maybe goes wrong in an audition, it becomes alive for that few seconds where yourself in the real world is kind of thinking, oh God, oh God, oh God, but then you're trying to cover it and you're improvising. Those really real moments that can come about. Phil loves that. He loves it when actors mess up and they get sort of like the unrehearsed stuff. So this is interesting. This is basically a walkthrough of what would happen if you got an audition with Philip Barantini. So if you do, remember this. What would be a typical in-the-room audition with Philip Barantini?
First of all, I'm not interested in what you've just been up to, what you've been working on. For me, when I was acting, I'd come in the room and sometimes you'd feel like, oh my God, if I haven't been doing stuff or I haven't been working lately or I haven't been in anything, quite notable, then they're not going to want to see me. And it's like, I don't care about that. All I care about is this moment right now. I want to care about your performance right now in this moment. I always bring in another actor to work with the actors because casting directors are brilliant. And when you said it before, a lot of casting directors used to be actors.
Yeah.
But they've got other things that they need to be doing, like the, recording it or whatever, and they're thinking about it. And a lot of the time they're holding the script and, they're not looking at you. So it's so important when two actors are looking and listening, and that's all that matters, is being in that moment and listening to each other and looking at each other. So I always bring another actor in, and I've used Robbie O'Neill, who's a fantastic mate of mine. And I always say to Robbie, or I say to whoever the actor is, when we bring this next person in, I want you to mix it up a bit at this point. So do something a bit, maybe suddenly turn on them and shout at them, or, walk away from them, or turn your back on them, or do something that is a bit like it's going to shock them. What you find then is like you'll realize which actors are in the moment and when they're truly listening, because sometimes they'll be like, oh gosh, I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting that. Can we just go again?
Right.
Like,
okay.
We can go again, but that will never happen again. And so, you know what I mean? I like to keep it fresh as well and keep it alive, and just, this most important thing is make actors feel uncomfortable.
I was getting carried away there. I nearly forgot to come back on camera. Once again, if you want to unlock the full chat with Phil, 2 hours, no, more. I think, was it more than 2 hours? What was it? What did I say? Was it 2? What did it say on the slides there? I just missed it. How long was the chat? What does it say here? What's that? 2 hours. Good 2 hour chat there with Phil Barantini. Ads on this.tv. Get your membership. Yeah, people saying ghost in the building. It happens every night. I think it's more to do with the Vodafone mast outside my house. But literally, sometimes on our Zoom calls, they did it last week, didn't it? It's just sort of like my internet just cuts off for only like 10 seconds. They must like reset something somewhere, and it just affects the signal. And I always just get cut off just for a little minute. But we're back. It's all good. Let's see what's going down in the chat there. But yeah, I thought it was interesting with Phil. He always brings an actor in to work with the actors, because like I said, it's great the casting directors reading in, but casting directors have loads of other jobs to do in the room as well. And the casting directors, they're not always actors. Some of them were actors, but they quit on that, and they're casting directors now. So he brings an actor in and will say, listen, at this moment, do something to sort of surprise the actor we're auditioning, just to see how you handle it, just again to get those sort of live moments. Sam's saying, couldn't get arrested. Yeah, that's a phrase, Sam. Couldn't get arrested. It's like someone saying they couldn't organise a pee up in a brewery. It's like, I couldn't, it's like nothing. I can't do anything right. I couldn't even get arrested. It's like, it's, I couldn't book a job to save my life last year. It's just one of those sort of phrases. It's a weird one, though, isn't it? Right, let's have a look. Di says she's definitely got better at doing fewer takes on self-tapes. Yeah, I have. I did a self-tape for Doctors this week. It was guest lead, actually, as well. It's a decent role. But me and Petch did it, and honestly, probably 3 takes. I'm definitely getting better at just sort of like being okay with like, listen, this is natural. We're not going to overplay it. Like I say, as long as you've really learnt the lines, it's fine. You should be able to get it in 2 or 3 takes, to be honest with you. Definitely. Right, let's have a look. There's a lot of love going down for Phil Barantini in the chat there. And Zoe, catch up on that one if you've not seen it already. It's a really, really good one. Indy's got his headshots booked, which is great news. Nice one. Right, what else have I got to show you? So let me talk about tomorrow night then, first of all. So yeah, that's Phil Barantini. You want to check out the full chat. It's in the members area right now, actonthis.tv, along with 400 hours worth of other recorded calls with the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, directors, and producers in TV, full stop. Not tomorrow night. I keep saying tomorrow night. It's Thursday, isn't it? I was thinking it was Tuesday night this week. It's not. Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Let me go back over to the website. We've got an absolutely freaking incredible call. Let me just get out of the members area. Let me just click on this. Let me go to how do I just get out? It's my own website. How the hell do I get out of this? I click here. Here we go. And let me go to the live page. Open up the live schedule. This is happening 2 days, 21 hours, 26 minutes as I'm recording now. This session is going to be absolutely, well, chaos, but incredible. We have got an entire team coming on for a member-only Zoom call. If you've watched ITV's brand new drama, I think it's on now. I think episode 3 is literally on now. The Long Shadow, an incredible, just an absolutely incredible drama with the creme de la creme of the English acting industry in it. Nearly every big name in the industry is in this to some extent. The Long Shadow. It's a really uncomfortable watch. It's about the Yorkshire Ripper. Obviously, a real life story of a serial killer, basically, and it's been meticulously researched. Like the detail that's gone into recreating this has been absolutely unbelievable. But it's directed by Lewis Arnold. It stars amazing people. Daniel Mays, you can see there. We've got Catherine Kelly in it. We've got David Morrissey in it. Just the biggest names in the UK industry, basically. It was cast by Victor Jenkins. But we're going to have so many of the team on Thursday night. We've got Lewis himself. He's coming on. We've got his editor, Sasha Spark. His editor, Sasha's been on before on a couple of Act on This sessions. Really interesting listening to, someone who edits the biggest shows out there and how you as an actor can help them in the edit, how you can almost act a little bit thinking of the edit in your mind. So, you give the editor more to work with, ultimately, selfishly, so that the editor favors you in the edit, so you get more screen time. But Sasha's going to be with us. We've also got Victor Jenkins, the casting director. Catherine Kelly's probably going to come on, we think. David Morrissey, if those guys wrap on whatever shows they're working on now in time. I think I'm going to ask Chris Hitchin maybe if he'll come on, Ruth Madeley, Rob James Collier. Ultimately, going to have a Long Shadow party, basically, and talking all about this show, how it was cast, how it was created, how Lewis directed it, what it was like as an actor working on the show. People might drop in for the whole thing. They might just drop in for 20 minutes or so. But it'll just be a really interesting, very, very different, member-only Zoom call, not like, the usual ones where we just have one guest. It's like a round table. I just really want to throw a question in there and just let them all chat amongst themselves, and we can just sort of observe, basically. But it'll be really interesting, just to hear from all those different disciplines, what goes into creating such a big piece of work. So that's 7 p.m, not 7:30 actually. That's a slightly earlier one this week. 7 till 9, I think we're going to do that 7 p.m. this Thursday night with the whole Long Shadow gang. And I've got some episodes to watch. I've only seen episode 1 so far. I had to watch all of Boiling Point before I interviewed Phil Barantini last week, so that was 4 hours of drama. This is 7 episodes. I don't think I'm going to get through all 7, even though they're all available on ITVX at the moment, and they're going out 1 a week, live on TV on a Monday night, I think. So it's literally happening right now, as far as I know. As I am live now. So I've got a lot of stuff to watch, but I reckon I can maybe watch episodes 1, 2, and 3 before Thursday. I'll treat myself. I'll treat myself to one a night. Maybe get through episode 4. But it is great. If you're in the middle of watching it, let me know what you think of it. I thought episode 1, I've only seen that one so far, was, as I say, very uncomfortable to watch. These are real lives we're talking about here that we're recreating in this, and people who lost their lives in just the worst way. But it's fascinating. It's quite gripping. It's uncomfortable, but it's edge of your seat kind of stuff. And it just makes you think a lot about, and just reflect sort of on humanity and the situations you can get. Ultimately, the bad situations good people can get themselves into. It's a really, really interesting watch. So yeah, do let me know if you're going to be there for that one. That's going to be 7 p.m. Thursday night. Other things to talk about that are on my list. What's on my list? Loads of stuff. So Bulletproof Actor. This is like something I mentioned before. For those people who might be new to the community, there's ultimately two flagship programs that I run at Act on this. One is called First TV Role Fast Track. I launch that once a year. That's for actors who want to land their first TV role in record time. We've taken a few hundred actors through that. Dozens of people have now landed their first TV role because of that, and people are getting in the room because of that program every single week. Hopefully, the people who haven't booked roles yet will, book roles. They're getting the auditions. They've just got to obviously, keep rinsing and repeating the blueprint within the program. But that does really, really well for actors. And the other part of the equation that I'm fascinated with in the acting industry. I never teach acting. I'll never do that. I'm never ever going to launch like an acting program teaching how to act. I think it's such a unique personal process for people. That's not something that I'm interested in sort of teaching people. But when it comes to the other facet, I think actors absolutely have to succeed. That's mindset. I'm really, really big on that. And I created a program in 2014 called Bulletproof Actor. Unstoppable Confidence, Infinite Success. And the first version 1 of it, super, super successful. I took some amazing people through that. They went on to change not just their careers, but their lives. Obviously, when you're developing your psychology and your self-belief and your mental toughness and resilience and just your entire mental game, your entire life changes, not just your acting career, because you look at the world through a completely different lens than you probably did, before you became aware of a lot of the positive, psychology principles. And we had I took Rachel Shenton through that program, and a year later, or a year and a half later, she won an Oscar. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm taking full credit for that, Rachel, if you watch it. Thanks ever so much. But we launched version 2 last year. Me and Matt Hall, the guy whose event I spoke at yesterday, we launched version 2.0 last year, and it's time almost. I'm trying to figure out when I want to launch the second intake of this. If you go to bulletproofactor.com, you'll see this webpage here, and you can get on the waiting list. It's absolutely the most in-depth positive psychology program for actors on earth. It's the only one of its kind that I know, to be honest, but even if it wasn't, it's absolutely, in my opinion, the best. It's really me and Matt cherry-picking sort of the best coaching we've received when it comes to positive psychology and mindset over the last decade, and just putting it all into one program. Cumulatively, between us, we've probably spent over £100,000 on coaching. Just ourselves in our own lives, and it's changed our lives, and we've really just cherry-picked the best of that coaching. There's Rachel, they're talking about the program. We've cherry-picked all of the best, coaching we've had and put it all into one program. It's a huge program. I can probably take you into the members area here. Let's have a look. Here you go. This is, you'll recognise it. It's very similar to the way that Act on This is laid out. But it's 8 core modules, everything, just everything, God, to do with, getting out your own way, really, getting on top of the things that are stopping you moving forward, all of your limiting beliefs, all of the things that you think you can and can't do, depending on ultimately past experiences and, potential, traumas in the past that are screwing you up today. They might have happened 20, 30 years ago. You still can't get past them today. We look at goal setting. We look at productivity. We look at procrastination, why so many people just procrastinate and don't get things done. We look at really emotionally connecting to your goals as well, and sort of that's that exercise there in module 6 called 7 Levels Deep, one of the most powerful exercises you probably ever go through in your life. We look at confidence and cultivating confidence authentically. None of this fake it till you make it bullshit. There's a massive workbook involved in this. This will take you, weeks to go through. With pre-recorded Q&A sessions, because we taught this program live initially, so you'd get access to all of those. There's some bonus content that Matt's created with one of the best coaches, again, one of the best coaches in the world, a guy called Dr. Aria. There's some coaching there that Matt did that he's, put as a bonus in this program as well. But it's something I'm just super, super proud of, and I want to get into more actors' hands, but I don't know when the best time to launch it is. I wonder what for those people who would be interested in doing something like this, how do you feel would it be something that you would do towards the end of a year? I've launched it twice before when I did the original one, and sometimes I do it at the end of the year, like in November, setting people up so that they, go through the program, they finish maybe the week before Christmas, they're really, really, sort of like tuned in and on it, ready to start the new year. And then sometimes I've launched it in the January as well. The whole new you, new me kind of vibe, because people are much more motivated to take action and stuff in January. What would you recommend? Like, what do you think? Just audience feedback. Sarah says this course is life changing. Really recommend it. Yes, Sarah Jane, love it. No, because you did it. You did the original one, didn't you? I think did you do the original one? in 2014 when I brought it out. I think it was that original one way back, or was it the? Oh no, maybe you just did the new one, didn't you? I think it was Johanna who was at the event yesterday who did the original one. Maybe I'm just making it up completely and just getting everybody mixed up. I've got a vote for January off Fabia, but I've got a vote for November off Indy. So it's 1-1 at the moment. So let us know. And Caroline, you said the event yesterday was like a slice of Bulletproof Live. That's another thing I would love to do. An Act on This live event and then a Bulletproof Actor live event. Me and Matt could team up on that though, obviously. Zoe says, such an incredible program. You need to get involved. Matt and Ross are so amazing at breaking everything down. Thank you, Zoe. That's really lovely. It's intense and a deep thinking one, that's for sure, says Indy. I don't know. Di says, I think January's a time when people are motivated. It's tough, isn't it? Because it's been, it's worked both times. I've launched it once in November, once in January, but I just don't know. Yeah, like if there is a better time, because I feel I've only just come off the back of first TV or Fast Track as well. Just for me personally, I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to get burnt out. Like there's only so much coaching you can do whilst you're trying to actually live your own life as well. But I just love that program. Taking actors through that is honestly some of the best weeks of the year for me. So bulletproofactor.com if you want to get on the waiting list for that. Just like First TV or Fast Track, we limit the numbers of actors who can go through that program each year because we just want to deliver a really personalized sort of coaching program where there's a Facebook group involved. There's actually a WhatsApp group involved in this as well that you'll get access to for accountability. Matt runs that. So it's only a temporary WhatsApp group. I think he runs it for about 30 days after the program, where there's like active daily check-ins on that. So it's a little bit different to the Fast Track stuff. We have the Facebook group for Fast Track, but you would have a Facebook group for Bulletproof and the WhatsApp group as well for a certain amount of time. There'll be a VIP version where you can get some live coaching as well. It's not just the pre-recorded stuff. It's wicked, but it is game-changing, and whether you do that program or not, everybody should really focus on their psychology and their mindset regardless, even if it's just going out and just reading more around this topic. It's absolutely game-changing when you can get real control of your emotions. And as actors, it all feeds into your career as well. So many actors I see, and them themselves are ruled by their emotions. They do not control their emotions. They're controlled by their emotions. And I'm like, if that's happening to you in real life, you're not going to be a very good actor, because the whole point of acting is to be able to control, and emote on demand. You've got to be in control of your emotions. You don't want your emotions to be in complete control of you, and you are serving them rather than them serving you. So I think really getting a grip on your positive, sort of like psychology and just the way that you ultimately look at the world, can really set you apart from the rest of the pack when it comes to acting, because it's a freaking tough industry, and most actors that I know are really unhappy, if I'm honest with you. I hear from them every week, they're just struggling, and I get it, because this is one of the only industries in the world where you will just face rejection almost every day, to some degree. So you've really got to develop, a mindset to be able to handle that. So that's Bulletproof Actor. I wanted to talk about that. Wanted to remind people the Actors Pro Expo is happening at the end of this month. Another shout out to them. So it's in Manchester, 28th of October. Actors Pro Expo. It's not my company, nothing to do with me, but I am exhibiting there. I'm going to be taking Acts on This there to just get more awareness for actors. And I'm also going to be hosting a seminar there that day with Peter Hunt, the Hollyoaks casting director. So that's the 28th of October in Manchester at the Royal Northern College of Music is where they're hosting it. A full day of just events for actors, basically. I think the general admission tickets are a tenner. Then you've got to pay a little bit extra if you want to go and do seminars, but the 10 quid ticket will get you in. You can just, network with people, meet other actors there. Come and say hello to me. Would love to meet you if I've not met you before in real life. You're part of this community. We're going to be there, obviously, telling everybody about Acts on This. I'm still looking, for a few volunteers. If anybody's in Manchester, if you're northern based and you want to come and just hang out with me and Petch and a few other Acts on This crew, on Saturday the 28th, put an Acts on This t-shirt on and just give out flyers and business cards and just basically talk the talk, all about Acts on This, just recommend it to actors there and try and get people involved. That would be amazing. Drop me an email, ross@actsonthis.tv, if you fancy just basically standing on the stall with us all day. It's quite a long day. It's 10 till 6, but you can have a break, obviously. And then I'll probably take everybody for Nando's afterwards. So if you want to come and talk to the public about Acts on This and you want to put a t-shirt on, which I will have to ask for back because I don't have many at the moment, but talking to Acts on This members yesterday at that event, I think we're going to launch some merch I wore an Acts on This t-shirt prototype yesterday, and I think we're probably going to, I'm going to get some printed up. And some hoodies printed up, maybe some caps printed up. We said last week, didn't we? Mugs and notepads and stuff like that. We can probably get some Acts on This merch sorted out and, put that up for sale on the site at very reasonable prices. Like I said last week, I'm not bothered about making money on that. I'm just happy for you guys to get access to it if you want it. But yeah, let us know if you're going to be in Manchester and you're going to be at Actors Pro Expo. Would be good. Indy says showreel booked, getting a new showreel, and his short film's been accepted into another film festival. And you won the Best Actor award, didn't you, at that one? So that award is arriving this week. That's wicked. Nick saying January would be good for Bulletproof Actor as Christmas is out of the way and the new year is good to self-reflect. I think people are pretty pumped, aren't they, in January? So it could be a good time to do it there. Nat says that as well, especially as Spotlight membership fee is going up. Is it? What's it going up to? I don't even know how much it is. I'm pretty lucky. Well, it's a little silver lining, isn't it? I wouldn't say I was lucky. I'm really lucky. I've got a degenerative eye condition, but it does get you half price Spotlight membership because it's a disability. So yeah, do you know what though? They don't even ask for. I mean, I've got like a certificate basically saying I'm severely visually impaired from the hospital, but they don't even ask for that. They're just like, if you identify as disabled, your membership's half price. So I think there's a bit of a loophole there for actors who just want to basically write in and say that they are. But yeah, if anybody has got a legit disability, you didn't know about this, by the way, Spotlight membership is 50% off if you have a disability. So make sure you claim that if you have, because it's a fair amount of money over a year, isn't it? It's probably like £75 or something like that. Notepads, yes, please, says Zoe. Yeah, Zoe takes a lot of notes. So yeah, Zoe, we'll get some big notepads for you with That's on This on, definitely. And Alex says, I was lucky to find a discount code online that got me £60 off. £60 off what, Alex? Spotlight? How did you get a discount code? I didn't even know they did them. That's crazy. Don't give it out publicly, but share it with the Acts on This community, Alex, if it's still valid. Right, so that was that. Actors Pro Expo, yeah, if you go to actorsproexpo.com, by the way, if you want to get tickets for that, just Google Actors Pro Expo or go to actorsproexpo.com. It will be great to see people in Manchester again on the 28th. The next thing on the list is we're going to record Table Talk this week. Again, for members who might have been a member, just become a member of Acts on This recently. Once a quarter, I'll go back over to their website here. Once a quarter in your members area, we drop a member-only podcast. So this will be going out not this week, the week after, probably not this Thursday, the Thursday after. We drop a podcast called Table Talk. So there's the last one we did. We do it every quarter. Me and Petch basically sit down, record a podcast, just me and him, in my kitchen. I'll show you what it looks like. Let's play a bit of this video. Well, I'll show you a still from the video. Come on, video. What are you doing? There you go. We sit. It's not a very flattering still of me there. We sit in my kitchen, and Petch has got a little itinerary thing there on the table that he writes down across a quarter, and it's all topics of discussion, things that he's seen come up in the Acts on This community that actors might be having issues with, or trending topics. We looked at agents on the last one. We looked at AI, artificial intelligence and acting on the last one. If you've got any sort of burning topics that you think would be, really good for us to discuss, or you want our opinion on something, if you could send Lee email, just lee@actonthis.tv, just with, what that topic is basically and why you'd like us to discuss it. I know he'll be putting together the little itinerary of discussion topics this week. We're probably going to end up recording that. I think later this week or at the weekend. So that was just a shout out. If you've got anything that you're like, I want your opinion on that, or I'd like your take on that, or whatever, then send it to Petch, lee@actonthis.tv. Let him know, and he'll collate a list of things to discuss there. And we will sit there probably for 2.5 hours, because that's normally how long they are, because we've got to cover a lot of stuff, talking about it all. So that's that. Alex says they've introduced a new Spotlight premiere. Whatever that is. Why don't I know about this? And Alex literally Googled Spotlight discount code. There you go, Alex. I didn't even know they had a box for discount codes on Spotlight. That's really interesting. So And Indy says, I think it's gone up to 240 quid now. Wow, it was only 145 or something, wasn't it? Like, I'm sure last time I renewed. It's currently 183, says Alex now. So it's going to, what, 240 quid? And they've got something called Spotlight Premiere. Right, well, at the end of October, end of this month, I think I've got coming on Acts on This, Mel Brown, who's the Spotlight Success Manager, helps actors, with the platform to have more success. What I would probably do on that session, we can ask her all about this stuff, by the way, because this is news to me. I will need to get schooled on this. I'd probably want 5 actors in the Acts on This community to volunteer their Spotlight page for us to review, and then Mel can break it down, have a look at it, and see, where you can make it better. I mean, obviously, I've got my opinion on how I run my own Spotlight page and stuff, but I'm not saying it's definitive. There's probably stuff that I'm not doing that I should be doing. But if you want, we'll maybe do like a Spotlight surgery kind of session on that session with Mel, where 3 to 5 people can submit their Spotlight pin, their link, and then we can bring that up, and we'll get Mel to sort of like critique that and see how we can make it better. But we can ask her all about this stuff, because I have no idea what Spotlight Premiere is, and I didn't know it was going up. Because when did they introduce that? Is that just something that's happened this week? Di says 240 quid, and they pretty much let anybody breathing be a member now. Yeah, they have definitely dropped their criteria heavily. It used to be 4 professional credits before you could get in. Now it's 1 or a recommendation from someone in the industry, basically. It's because it was bought out. It used to be pretty much a family-run private company. Then it was bought out by a big American company who owned casting networks. And, it's obviously a bit, just that they're very business-minded. So they're like, right, how can we, make as much cash as we can? But yeah, I'll find out all about what this premium premiere thing is. And that says it's not been formally announced. I only found out through a friend. Ah, okay. That's why I've not heard about it. Yeah, because I thought, have I missed something here? But yeah, we'll figure out all of that on that session with Mel. She seems lovely, so hopefully that'll be an entertaining session. Should be useful. And we'll dig into other parts of Spotlight that I don't think actors are even aware of, like, the whole discount section. I got quite a big discount on the last iMac that I bought from Apple, because I got something, I think it was, they run a discount sort of scheme through a company called Parliament Hill, I think they were called, but I'm sure I got it was quite a lot, honestly. I think it was sort of like 10 or 12% off or something like that, because I went through, my Spotlight membership. So there's things like that I don't think actors know about. There's some pretty decent discounts if you're a Spotlight member on quite a lot of stuff. So we'll figure all of that out, but thanks for bringing that to my attention, because I had absolutely no idea. And Petch, if you're listening to this on the replay, because I know he listens to this while he's editing sometimes, do a bit of digging, Petch, find out what Spotlight Premiere is, and we'll talk about it on Table Talk. I think that would be something really good to discuss, sort of just prices of stuff in the industry and what's worth it and what's not worth it. Spotlight is, pretty essential. Acts on This is more essential. Acts on This membership is the most essential thing in your acting career, full stop. Forget everything else. Cancel it all. Just do Acts on This. It's fine. We'll find it. We'll make our own work. It's not a problem. We don't need casting briefs from anywhere. We'll all just club together and create stuff ourselves. Right. What is it? It's 56 minutes past 9. I've waffled on a lot, haven't I? Right. I think I've got through everything. The last thing I wanted to talk about, was just running a live event for Act on This. We'll look at doing a Bulletproof Actor one at some point down the line, all about mindset. But what would it look like for you if we did? So Matt's event yesterday was in Manchester at 53.2. It was from 1 till 6, I think, so just 5 hours. And he had there was 3 guest speakers. He recorded a 30-minute podcast there with one of the speakers as like their session. I did a 45-minute session on side hustles. There was another entrepreneur there talking about sort of the adversity she's faced and how she's got over that. And then there was a bit of self-development work, quite a lot of sort of, work that Matt was coaching actors on to sort of, get their mindset in the right place moving forward. But it's 5 hours. And I thought, that when he said 5 hours at the start, I thought, it's not very long. But he did cram an awful lot into it, a lot of variety. So, that's sort of like a half a day session. I don't know if that would be something that just, think we should do in Acts on This community, or whether we just do a full day. I'd like to do like 10 till 5 maybe. And then, we'd have a morning session that might be more coaching related, where it'll be practical. You'll get a workbook. You can think about things within your career. And then the afternoon, we would do like panel sessions, maybe with, we'd bring a casting director of a show along with the director of the show and maybe one of the lead actors of the show, and host like a live Q&A. And then maybe I would record a podcast live in front of the audience. That would be an Acts on This member podcast that would appear in the members area for people who can't make it live, but we record it live there. So, audience members can maybe have an input on that. I don't know. I'm basically up for loads of ideas. If you've got ideas, I'm all ears, because I've never ran a live event before. So let me know what you think would be good at an event like that, and I will try and make it happen. We'll definitely do it in 2024, because I've not been out enough this year. We do the live in-person meetup once a quarter in London and in Manchester, and that's great. But to have a full day together would be miles better, wouldn't it? Definitely. But we'll figure that out. But if anybody's got any ideas, drop me a tweet at Act on This TV on X, formerly Twitter. I'll stop saying tweet one day in probably about 5 years. But let me know what you would like at an event like that. That's about all we've got time for, folks. I can't believe how quickly this has gone. Di used to run live events. Di, if you've got any great ideas, let me know. Definitely, I'm all ears. Sarah Jane says that sounds so good. It would be wicked. Indy's looking for any companies that can provide edits to a film. The only editor I know, Indy's Chris Stone. Well, he's like a filmmaker / editor. I don't know a specific editor, although Sasha Svark, Lewis Arnold's editor, one of the best editors in the country in TV, is going to be joining us on Thursday night. So maybe we can ask him if he offers freelance services. You might need deep pockets for that, though, Indy. I don't know. It'll depend on how much, the resources you've got. But you might know people who are just, learning to edit, who might, be up for that. Sophia's up for the live event. Nice one, Sophia. It would be great, to meet people, like I say, at an event like that. That'd be wicked. I've got one other clip here that I was actually just transferring over to TikTok. But you know what? I'll play it out for you lot. I put this out as a TikTok before. This is just 20 seconds. So TikTok. If you're not following Act on This on TikTok, I'm going to be way, way more active on TikTok now. Act on This TV. Follow Act on This TV on TikTok. I went through a phase where I was posting content every day on TikTok. Then I sort of fell out of it because we got so busy. And I would post stuff on Twitter every day, Facebook every day, Instagram every day. But TikTok I kind of like neglected a little bit because there's a bit more manual work goes into it. You can't automate it all the time. So I started posting again today. And I tell you what, the reach you get on TikTok is so big, so quick compared to any other platform. I'll put a video out on Instagram, maybe in a day, 100 people will see it. I put a TikTok out before, first one in weeks, and I thought maybe the algorithm's going to hate me because I'm not posted in weeks. It hasn't. It's loved it. It's got like nearly 3,000 views on it already in like less than half a day. It's powerful if you are, putting your acting work out there, or you're creating your own short film, you're looking for attention online to get eyes on your work. Creating your own audience. I'm not saying necessarily casting directors or industry people, but if you want to create your own audience for a project you've made, TikTok just seems powerful, man. It's like something that I'm definitely going to, delve into more. So at Act on This TV on TikTok, please follow me. I want some followers. I think when you hit a certain amount as well, you can go live on TikTok. So I want to do that as well. But this is just a clip from Kelly Valentine Hendry's session that we did a couple of weeks ago. Kelly cast Bridgerton, Gangs of London, Queen Charlotte. Just, again, the biggest programs in the world. One of the nicest casting directors you'll ever meet, though. And this was just a 20-second take on something Kelly was talking about when it comes to in-the-room auditions, and how directors now, because they're under so much time pressure on set, how directors nowadays are really looking at the audition, particularly for the smaller roles, as the rehearsal. And I think that's a really good way for actors to think about it. Go into the room like you've got the job. Not arrogantly, not fully yourself, but like treat the audition, if you get an in-the-room audition, as the rehearsal. It's going to be one of the only times the director gets to work with you before you get on set. Well, the only time before you get on set. And if you've got just a small role where you're going in for half a day, you might have a scene or something like that, a few lines. I think it can really sort of like empower you walking into the audition room, looking at the audition like this. So this is just Kelly's take on it. Only 20 seconds, but keep an eye out on TikTok for more of this sort of stuff, because I'm going to be posting loads. Petra's edited 100 TikToks, so I've got a lot in the bank. to start posting over the next few days and weeks. But thank you, folks. Love to you all. actonthis.tv/live to keep an eye out on what's coming up on Act on This for members. If you're not a member, get a bloody membership. Come and join the community. Existing members, use those affiliate links. Help me grow the community. That would mean the world. And hopefully, yeah, we'll see you at a live event that I'm going to create very, very soon. If you've got any ideas, let me know. And email Petch, lee@onthis.tv for anything to do with Table Talk if you want us to discuss anything when we record that podcast. Later this week, here's this clip from Kelly. Love to you all once again. Have an amazing week, and I'll catch up with you soon, all right? Until next time, bye for now.
What is the actor thinking? The actor might be thinking about the fact they haven't had their look.
No, that was Diarmuid. That was not Kelly. I've clearly labelled that. I've clearly labelled that one wrong. Hang on. This is Kelly. That was Diarmuid Goggins. Another great director, though, and another great session in the members area on Act on This. Here's Kelly Valentine Hendry talking about auditioning in the room. I think, anyway, it might be. Let's see what happens. Bye for now.
What is the actor thinking? The actor might be thinking about the fact they haven't had...
No, that's Diarmuid again. Don't go anywhere, right? Please don't go anywhere. I'm gonna fix this. What is it then? What is it that I've done wrong here? So it's not that. Right, I think it's this. I think I've labelled them the wrong way round. This might be, here you go, third time lucky, folks. This might be Kelly Valentine Hendry talking about, this is so embarrassing if it's not, in the room auditions. Third time lucky. Bye for now.
The reason that the directors want you in the room is they want to work out if you can take direction. That is basically the biggest reason. They know that they're not going to have much time with you until you get to set sometimes, especially if you're doing smaller parts, and they consider the audition actually the rehearsal. Directors have actively talked about that. It's like, no, I want to come in because this will be 10 minutes that I will get to rehearse the person that I will cast today.